In the heart of Antarctica, among endless white plains and freezing winds, stood a remote wildlife rescue station named Southwind Base. It was staffed by a small team of scientists and medics dedicated to protecting the most vulnerable creatures of the polar world. One piercing morning, Dr. Lila Morgan, a quiet but resilient marine biologist, was scanning the horizon through her binoculars when something caught her eye. A dark shape lay motionless near the ice cliffs, separated from the rest of the colony. It was a lone Adelie penguin, barely moving. Curious and concerned, she alerted her team. Within minutes, she and medic Jonah Reyes geared up and rode out on a snow sled. As they neared the penguin, they saw the terrible reason for its immobility. Its back was covered in sharp-edged barnacles, some digging into the flesh. The bird's feathers were tattered, its body dangerously thin. Jonah gently picked up the penguin, who didn't resist. Its head lolled forward slightly, emitting a soft chirp, more like a whisper than a call. "He's been in pain a long time," Jonah murmured. Lila nodded grimly. "Let's take him home." Back at the station, they named him Echo, after the soft sound he'd made on the ice. They wrapped him in thermal fabric to prevent heat shock and carefully cleaned the wounds. Lila monitored Echo's heart rate, while Jonah flushed out the parasites embedded in his skin. Every small movement from Echo felt like a triumph. That night, as the wind howled outside, the rescue team took turns sitting beside the quiet bird. For the first few days, Echo couldn't stand. But he would slowly lift his head when someone approached. It was a sign of trust, and perhaps hope. They fed him a warm mix of blended fish and electrolytes, massaged his legs to stimulate circulation, and applied antibacterial cream to the deep abrasions. Every day, Echo's eyes grew brighter. By the end of the second week, something changed. When Lila entered the room one morning, Echo flapped his wings and shuffled forward 2 steps. The team burst into quiet cheers. It was the first sign of real recovery. Soon, he was strong enough to waddle outside the station's sheltered area. In the icy wind, he tilted his head to the sky and let out a sharp call that echoed across the landscape. It was the sound of life reclaiming itself. 3 weeks after the rescue, Echo was ready. His feathers weren't perfect, but his strength had returned. The team conducted one last checkup: clear lungs, healed wounds, steady heart rate. It was time. They loaded him onto a sled and took him back to the colony's beach. As they approached, dozens of penguins turned. And then, Echo called out. A pause followed, then a wave of excited chirps returned. One younger penguin waddled toward him, touching beaks, a gesture of recognition. The team stood at a distance, letting the moment unfold naturally. No commands. No force. Just instinct and reunion. Echo looked back once, just once, at the people who had brought him back from the edge. And then he turned to the ice, to his home, and rejoined a group. In a place as unforgiving as Antarctica, the survival of one fragile life might seem small. But to the people of Southwind Base, it was everything. Echo's return was a victory, a symbol that even in the harshest places on Earth, compassion still echoed.
Thank you for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe to support us.